Hi, good evening, guys. I'm about to share the link. Give me one moment. I've shared the link on Telegram and on Twitter. So let's see how many people join in tonight. Hi, Chang. Hi, Krish. Hi, Jeremy. Good evening. Hope you all had a great weekend. I had a wonderful one, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. Had a good weekend. Hi, Pradeep. Good evening. Hi, Hit. Hi, Devinder. Good evening. So guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do that so that it's easier for you to receive the alerts when I'm going live on YouTube. Hi, Sandeep. Hi, Gaurav. Sat Shri Akal. Hi, Mitchell. Good evening. Okay. Yep, you heard about it. You got it. But again, like as of now, Hong Kong is kind of losing the momentum. But again, we need to wait until 9:30 in the morning so that we can exactly see what happens to Chinese market. Right now, Hong Kong has given up almost 300 points from the day high. So we need to be very like patient and see how it opens. Hi, Yagnesh. Hi, Tarish. Uh, hi, that's Feli. Hi, Pankaj. Hi, Sham. Hi, Radhika. Good evening. Uh, all right. So we have like good number of people to begin with. Uh, let's start. Again, I hope you all had a great weekend because that's what is very important. We do everything to have a relaxing mind. So I'll start from my scans. I'll start from inside day scan, and I'm gonna choose 20 as a size. In case, oh, we have 28. Wow. So I'll increase it to 50 for now. See, and we have some big earnings coming, like AVGO is there, Salesforce is there, Visa, Oracle. Like for Oracle for last few days is doing really good. CRM Netflix is inside day. I really want to bring. I'm gonna get rid of cat for now. I'm gonna focus on tech. CRM is inside day. Netflix is inside day in my list. Adobe is there. Snow and Lulu. Lulu have earnings. Snow is inside day. Uh, Crowd have earnings. Netflix inside day. Roku has inside day. So many have inside days from my list. Uh, I do want to include AVG or Cell. I'll like even Adobe has inside day. I do want to include Lulu and AVGO. Let me see which one I remove. Lulu, AVGO. Because then it becomes a very big list to manage. Not here, alphabetically, it should be right here. AVGO. It's no. Then let's look out for an inside week. Meta is inside week. Baba is there. PayPal is inside week. PayPal is looking really interesting. PayPal inside week. Both NQ and ES are inside weeks. Then CRM is also inside week. And it's like compressing really nicely into the earnings. So which is a really good trade setup. CRM. Okay, let's look out for any bullish patterns on daily. None. Anything on weekly time frame? Let's check. Nothing. Let me just check on any bearish candle patterns on daily. Nothing. Again, I'm only looking into my watch list, not all the stocks, because then you lose the essence. Let me try 1234 on one day. Any stock in my list where 12 is crossing 34. Splunk, interesting stock, Splunk. So it's a strong one. Anything where 34 is crossing 12. Uber. Okay, Uber is negative. All right, guys. So I have a massive list. For now, like I'm going to get rid of triple Q. Because like if you're using NQ, I myself follow NQ. If we have time, we'll do triple Q. Otherwise, I'm going to leave triple Q out of this. ES and NQ are there. You can divide it by 10 or like the ratio for NQ. You should be good. Hi, Vani. Hi, Vishal. Hi, Manjunath. Damn, that's fairly, you can just do inside day Google. It will take a minute and you will know. Otherwise, will come when we are going through that specific ticker. All right, ES. So ES last week, we anticipated that yes, we should see a bounce towards 4470. It went there, could not hold, did a back test. That back test happened and it failed. 34 failed, 12 failed. Now, it did not even went lower. It did a fake breakdown, which I mentioned on Friday morning that there's a possibility we do a fake breakdown and we might go long. So 4382 was recaptured, 4395 was there, and then boom, we had like 20, 25 points right into straight line. Now, this is really, really important because if we had to fall, we had all the chances to fall. Now, unless and until we lose 4380, the momentum in the market is not going to be weak. We see it's going to be not bullish either, but it is not weak. It may be, I would say, neutral because till the moment we are holding 4382, we are good. On the top side, if we can take out 4460, we are good. In between, we might slow and steady move here and there, move in there, and have a stock specific action. Also, the next week is a labor week, labor day weekend. So during this period, usually like when we go into September, that's the period where the big people or the big traders, they do not trade. They usually like are on vacation or something. So this weekend is light, and whenever there is a light volume in the market, you can actually see some potential moves. So if you have to wait, you can wait for this week to complete. Probably, I will say next week Thursday or Friday will have a clear trend. During this week or next week, I would say we should chop in a very tight range. Like I would say 43.80 to 44.60. I don't see going in outside on any side. And there could be some serious chop on the option premiums. So I would take smaller size positions and then trade them instead of, or if I had to trade, I would buy time on my positions. All right. So if I have to trade now here, so 44.10 was a good stop loss because last time it acted as a, so I would say it's a positive to short, like totally net neutral. 44.10 will become my stop loss. I am not inclined to rush, and inside week will remain inside week. Because if you go here on the weekly side, we need to take out 44.25. That's the big 12 EMA. And if we lose, like not able to take it or go above that, we'll find support at 43.95, 43.80. The moment we lose 43.80, you see on the weekly candles, we have held this 4 times. We will not be able to hold it this time. The pressure is there. It's inside week. So I said, I anticipate the range to be in a very uh, tight range on the daily basis. So expect something in between, and that will become inside week. Maybe after the Labor Day week, midweek, you will see clear direction. So 44.10 buy, I would say, if you get a dip by near 44.12 to 15, very small trade. 44, I'll keep it 44.30, 44.50. On the short side, if you have to try short below 4395. Because right now, people do not like to short going into the long weekend. So I'm gonna keep a little positive. So sell below 43.95. Stop loss you can keep like 44.05. First target is 4382 and then 4350. These are the targets. If we do that, then we should be able to fill the gap. I expect this to happen next week, not this week. This week should be very, very chop and low volume. Like people on the Twitter are posting, oh, this is going to be a very big break, but we don't know that. Usually, in my experience, I have seen that the week before the Labor Week is, unless something big news comes out, I don't anticipate any big move on the index itself. And let's validate this on the book map in between ISO. Bookmap is a tool which is in Thinkorswim. You can call your Thinkorswim broker and ask him to enable that for you, and they'll happily do that. You see on 44.30, 35 is an area where we are finding resistance. 44.10, 44.5 is the range where we are finding the support. So 44.50 on the top, 44.0. So this should be the range. We should not be going outside of this range. Let's go to NQ. Same thing, NQ is holding, but it's below the 12 and 34. And 15,000 is a really, really important area. Now, I would say if you had to try long, you need to keep 15,950 or 14,950, which has been a kind of a base here. This line, like the close here, the close here, they came into the picture and then provided support. If you go on to the left, that's also an area where we found the support in the past, right there. So 14,950 is a good area as a stop loss. And buy above 15,000 only. If it holds 15,000, yes, it's a good trade. Then look out for 15,050. That's a 12 EMA target. And then again 60-40 on Nasdaq as well. I'm gonna give it positive. Short below 14,950. Stop loss 15,000. 15,000 is an important area for Nasdaq. That's an area. If we lose this, we should see 14,850. 14,850. 14,740. These are two, I would say, neutral. Triple Q will come a little later. Apple managed to hold above 177, which is 38.6 Fibonacci. Plus, Apple managed to close right above 12 EMA. So I think it may try to do a back test of because it held 38 Fibonacci and it regained 38.2 Fibonacci. If it did, next goal is 61 Fibonacci percentage. So during that, we should see 180, we should see 182, 183. These are possible targets on Apple. For now, Apple is neutral. I'm going to keep 177.3 as my stop loss. And I'm looking to buy above 178, 60 or 75. That's the area I'm looking to. Like if you want to be a really safer side, try buy above 179, but it's like 12 EMA, so I really am fine. Target 180.35. And then 182.45. 182.45. Now in this, I don't see any pattern. The only thing is it reclaimed 12 EMA, bounced a 12 EMA and 38.2 Fib on weekly close. These are positive for Apple. So I'm going to mark this in green color. So Apple, if is in this condition, I'll be looking to buy it. Adobe, I'm going to mark this as positive because on Friday, Adobe was showing some relative strength. The market was going down. It held it very nicely. And it was one of the first stocks to bounce. And 521 is an area where, like, I was constantly watching it. It came almost near 514, 513, and then bounced almost $10 into the close. So one thing which I'm going to watch is Adobe, and I think it's getting ready for a big move. If you see, it's a bull flag or bull pennant, if you want to call this. It's setting up a nice structure. It is bouncing off from 509 now into the 50% reclaimed both 12 and 34. So everything is good. Even on the weekly basis, it is like a morning star, which is extremely positive for me. And it has like not seen the highs which all the other tech stocks have seen, like the big tech stocks. So Adobe, I think, is on the verge of a breakout. So Adobe is inside day It's a weekly morning star, and morning star patterns are very, very useful. Verge of a breakout. So if I have to put anything, I'll be putting my money on Adobe for tomorrow. So that's my favorite setup. Come on. I'm gonna mark this in blue color, give it a 70%. And now my stop loss is 521.6, which is right there. I'm interested to buy it above this candle, which is 525.50. So I want to buy above. I'm looking for 534 and 552. Keep an eye on Adobe. This is my favorite setup going into next week. AMD. So AMD, I mentioned last time that it can come to 99. It came and made exactly low of the Fibonacci area, which it did. Now, it is going to set up a potential morning star only if it opens above 102.50. This is a potential setup. It is really, really oversold at this time. In my terms, it's really, really oversold. Let me just show you my DMI chart, because those only will show the numbers. You see, the purple line, I have not changed the colors. The purple line is a negative sentiment, and the green line is a positive sentiment. Now, the strength of negative sentiment is also going down along with the positive sentiment, which is roughly neutral. So if I have to take a cue, I would try a morning star, potential morning star setup, doing a back test of 17, 110 on AMD. So I'm marking it as a neutral, and I'm marking as a potential morning star. It is not a morning star, it is a potential morning star. So the probability of this is if it opens into an area. So buy above 150, stop loss 101.80, target is 104.85, 107. These are potential trades for AMD. Amazon. Last time I mentioned that Amazon is one of the setups which could actually potentially bounce. It started a bounce and then gave down very badly. Now, my only thing is that if market gives you an opportunity, Adobe, Amazon, Google, and even Tesla for some uh, things, they're setting up for a very big move. Like Amazon has not seen the highs. Amazon was 137, not 137, 3,700, which is approximately 185 something, roughly, because it was 37.70 something. So it was 185, 86. It is still $50 away. Google was 150-ish something. It's still at 130. So they have potential as compared to other tech stocks. So if I have to take cues, if it holds 133, Amazon, I'm taking a positive trade on. But I want Amazon to cross this 12 EMA, which is 134.60. It is 1% above. Either you can be aggressive and try here. So I will clearly mention, be aggressive. On Amazon, on any dip. So if you spelling is wrong, be aggressive buyer on Amazon running dip. Yes. So buy above these areas and you will find. Now, what people have issue that they will not buy above 134, they will to try and buy at 133, thinking that today is their day, and if they buy at 133, they can easily go to 134 and then boom. And what happens is it's not able to cross 134, it eat premium, and then it finally breaks down below 133. There is a reason why I'm giving 134.60, because that is a very important level. Okay, if it does, then there is no resistance whatsoever until 140. You can clearly go and just long. Now, on the other hand, if it dips to 130-ish, then there is a small gap. Be a buyer, be aggressive buyer. Once the gap is filled, be an aggressive buyer on Amazon. AVGO, like for now, I'm just uh, AVGO. I have not uh, added this into chart for a long time, but finally they have earnings. And in my experience, all that earnings of AVGO which I have seen, they are mostly premium meters. They'll show very big moves, but those moves are like quickly done. Like look at this. This was the earning, hardly any move. This was the earning, hardly any move. If you go back, this was the earning, hardly any move. Like it will move $5-10. So it's better if you want to take a trade with butterflies on AVGO, or trade after the earnings on the next day. Now, as I said, I expect AMD to bounce. Uh, AVGO has been falling in line with Nvidia. Like it's trying to make newer highs, and recently it almost crossed 910, tested, and then failed. Right now, everything is positive on DMI side on AVGO. But if you look at the Heikinisi candle, you will see that it's finally turning red. Okay, so if Nvidia goes down, so will AVGO. I'm not sure about AMD, but if Nvidia goes down, AVGO will go down with it. Keep that in mind. Okay, the trend you see is showing negative because the 12 EMA has been a laggard to a 34 EMA. So I'll be just watching AVGO in terms of losing the momentum. There are multiple gaps which needs to be filled on AVGO on the downside. Look at these gaps. These gaps were on like hype of AI. So be careful here. It's a very clean head and shoulder patterns, very clean. All it needs is break of 839. The break of 839 gives you 805. All right. I don't see a very much upside at this time based on today's analysis. I'll also check like any flow on AVGO. Let's see if anybody's PanW I'm not considering for now, but AVGO I am. So AVGO, you see, this is these are 825, so they are expired. It doesn't matter. Uh, but 900 calls. Let's see what they have. So 900 calls are sold here at 66, and we'll keep an eye on this. The operators for this 900 for this week, they are practically like this was $1 million trade. That's interesting. At 860. Right in the open, there was a $500 500 stock trade at and then throughout the day, it was getting sold, like from 20 to 18. It even came to every time it is rising. So most likely this will be a sold. So which clearly shows that people are heavily like 500, roughly 120, that's 600 and 900 and 1300 contracts, roughly they are there, 1600. And you see the price is going down. Even on the rise, it's going down. The open interest is added now. This is some good volume here. And I think this is repeated. This last candle, there's something wrong. So tomorrow on Monday morning, we need to see what's happening to this AVGO call. I think it's a sell for me. Otherwise, all the other puts for they are from last week only. So not interested. So for me, I'm a seller on AVGO. I'm a short. So if I have to sell, I will sell below 840. Stop loss is my trend line, which is 848. And let me just copy this. See, sell below 840, stop loss 848. Looking at the gap is right there, 828. And then there's another gap, then 805. Negative trend, rejection from 12 and 34 EMA. AVGO is a short for me. Let me see, anybody has any questions? Okay, no questions. DA had a very wonderful news Friday, and it's a massive hammer. And what it did was there was a gap which was created on the earnings. That gap was filled, and it's able to manage and close about 220, 290. So for me, 222 is a very good area of stop loss. The clue here is 221.60. So 221.65 by about 223. Yes. Targets are 225.80, 227. And Chinese news is really, really good for Boeing. Positive China news. And like we have long in Baba, we have long in Boeing and Tesla, which we carried over the weekend. So I'm hoping that China news can push uh, Boeing really, really solid. And I think if it can go above this, because right now the trend in Boeing is positive. It was losing the momentum, but now it's back there. 221.60 is your stop loss. If it loses that, exit. But if it crosses 230.35, this time it will break out. CRM is inside week, inside day. It's holding that 205 area. And this is the same thing which was happening last time. 211 it was holding, and then boom, it went higher. Same thing happened here. This was holding, and then boom. So if, again, there was a big gap after the price hike, Now, I am anticipating that price is going into the earnings this week. It's holding this space of 205, 207. So I'm really interested in CRM. Stop loss is very confined, 208 on CRM. It's for me, it's positive. It's inside the inside week, 208. And I'm looking at 213, 211, 213, 215, 211, 13, 214, 90. Buy near 208 and 9. Gap fit. Then crowd also have earnings this week. Crowd is like similar to snow. It's like holding on to this range. Last time crowd had earnings, it went up to 159 and then gave back again. Before that, it was around 123. It gave back. So it's not able to cross 148. It's not able to cross 156 on the top. Every time it tries, it fails. For now, I'm going to remove crowd from my list. We'll come back to it later. Google, as I said, Google is one of the trades which I'm looking forward to. It came and tested last time we spoke that every time it comes to that 34 EM, it's an opportunity to buy. It gave you an opportunity and then boom, it went higher. Now it's a potential Morningstar setup. And similar to Amazon, I'm very positive on Google. And it reclaimed both 12 and 34. I would say back tested 12 and 34. Positive. My stop loss is now 129. You can buy anywhere between 129 and 30. That's a good area to buy. Meta. Meta has been like sell on rise for me every time it's going higher. But again, this week, this is a massive potential for an evening star. There may be a possibility it comes down to 293. So I'll move my stop loss to 296. I'm keeping it neutral because if it crosses 295, 6, it will be really, really difficult. It's at 285. I'm going to give you one more area, 293, or buy with 282 stop loss at 284 for 293.96. If you want to buy, you can buy. Like people like to buy Meta, but I don't like it. 283, I would say 288, 83, and then 78. If it goes higher, I'll be most likely to sell this. Microsoft has been grinding a lot in that 320 area. It's holding. So if it is holding, potentially it's going to break out. And before the long weekend, I think Microsoft is holding this area nicely. So I'll give it a shot above 323. So I think all these levels are fine for Microsoft. Netflix is one of the setups which I had. It's an inside day. I'm looking forward to break out in Netflix. If it does, it will be a massive mover because everything Netflix is doing, it's getting positive benefits in the news. So 410 is a very It's a positive news, so I'll mark this. I'm not giving it in a green color, in the blue color, but in a green color. 60. My stop loss is like 411. Buy near like 413 to 416. 422. 432.50. If it crosses 432.50, it's really, really positive. Nvidia, I'm eliminating this row. I'm only doing one trade on Nvidia. I'm shorting Nvidia. Same thing. It's a rejection from 61. It bounced from 30 from 12 EMA, but there are massive gaps which needs to be entertained. So for me, if it goes higher, maybe to 465, 460, that's my selling zone. But the best sell is below 453. 53. If it goes below 453, that's the loss of 12 EMA. Stop loss is very small, 456. Look for 442, 435. And I expect this to be 60%. So Meta, Nvidia, AVGO, these are my sell tickers. McDonald's, I'm going to eliminate. Roku is inside day. Roku, like Netflix, is looking really interesting. It's getting very tight, holding this area of 75-ish. So I would actually take a chance on Roku, and it's an inside day. Stop loss is 75.50. If it breaks below 75.50, then it's bad. But if it can go above 77, I will say buy near 76 to 77. 77, 70. It closes 76. 76 to 77.50. If you can buy this, like this is the massive range of 1.5. I think Roku is getting really, really set up for a big move. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. If it loses 75, then everything fails. Then it fills the gap and then end of story. But if it holds here, potential is 88. That's what I'm looking at. Snow, they had really good earnings. And now it's an inside day. After the earnings, they got rejected from 162, 38.2 Fibonacci, almost came. And now it's back above this area. Snow is holding 142 like a magnet. So unless we lose 142, I'm not negative. I'm going to try above 153 on Snow. My star by above 153.50. If it stays above 153.50, there's no resistance at all towards 162. So 159 and 162. Stop loss, if you want to keep, you can keep a stop loss of very small, like a close of 150 to 50. I'll not be a seller on Snow at all because I'm positive on CNM, positive on Microsoft. I'll not be a seller on Snow either. Tesla. So Tesla is inside, roughly an inside day, but it's in the range for last 4 days. Managed to hold about 236. I think it, and we have a like trade above 240, 250 calls for this week. The stop loss is right there. 244.30. And then 250.50. You can buy above. Friday is close, 239. I'm not doing short on Tesla. Giving it 60%. So these are my setups, and then I have some space now For PayPal, Splunk, I would definitely do PayPal. PayPal is inside week. PayPal is brewing really nicely in the last few days. Like every time it's trying to take out the 12 EM, it's failing. But if you look at the weekly candle, it's the inside week, and we are well away from the EMAs. So potential move towards 65 is there on PayPal. Now, where should we buy? We should buy above this 12 EMA. If we get above 12 EMA, this will become a potential morning star. So, come on, I'm making a mess. Inside week, daily potential morning star. I'll say positive, buy above 6160. If you do that, you should not need any stop loss. 6380, 66, 64, 66. Keep an eye on PayPal. I'm sure if it crosses 6160, this will be the very good setup for you. Splunk has moved really good. So I don't want to do Splunk. I'll do Baba. Baba, if it takes out 92, I think game is on Baba. So buy Baba. Buy above 92. And again, we are long in the position. Stop loss 90.80. But this will actually change the game. 95 and 97. Positive news are starting to come from China. So there's a lot of potential on Chinese stocks. Okay, now we are left with triple Q. Let's do that in between. A firm already moved. So I'm not going to touch a firm. If you're already in a firm, that's a good thing, but not for me. You can go to my Twitter and you can pick up the links from the highlights. Let's finish off with triple Q. So we were talking about Nasdaq, that we should try above 15,000, like a stop loss. So same here, 365.30 is an area for triple Q. Buy above 365, which is a 12 EMA, 30. When we get to these level, they build confidence. And once you are in a confident trade, you'll be able to make money. If you are in a bad trade, you will never make money. 367, and then high here is 370. So the very first thing you need to do is when you're picking up a trade, always pick up a trade which is of high confidence. Like for me, Adobe is a high confidence trade. So if I'm going long, I'll go long with confidence on this without worrying about any negativities. On the downside, I'll only go short if I lose 362.60. Stop loss 363. 364. 361 and 357. So that's my list. I'm going to share a Zoom link. If anybody wants to discuss, you can discuss. I only have few minutes. Okay. No. Wait. Wait. You can join the link and come to the Zoom if you have any questions. I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes so that you can join in. In between, futures are trying to hold 15,044, 15-ish area. And Chinese market, I will check, is holding 2% gains. Baba is holding 3% on Chinese market. Baidu is at 3% also. So all the tech companies on the Chinese list are holding. So guys, anybody wants to join, you can come. Manu, you have any questions for me?
Yep. So now yep.
Go ahead.
I bought some FXI. I bought some FXI just now. I feel it has been oversold, and FXI being an ETF seems like it is a better choice. So I was not sure. Don't have the Baba. Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, you were talking about FXI you bought just now.
Yes. No, that's I just it's a kind of FOMO thing. Yeah, it was unexpected, and it's a huge news.
Well, yes, it was unexpected, but like if you see, we've been like I've been saying that something is definitely brewing in Chinese economy. News will come. So every weekend, just take a few calls of FXI or KW Web. That will be always good because like the possibility of Chinese economy to go further down is less as compared to going up. They need to catch up a lot of catch up. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes, Naval bhai, good evening.
Good evening.
Wanted to request you about PA and W. I have been doing the chart. I am actually quite confused. That is it bullish or bearish?
PNW has to fill the gap. It created a massive gap. It needs to fill it.
Okay.
And that's the trouble.
So you expect it to come down to 212?
It would. If market going to get weak, it will. Plus with crowd earnings, it's not going to move at all.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be in a very tight range.
Okay, but bearish bias.
If crowd fails, this will fail big.
Okay. Okay.
That's why I did not cover crowd and I didn't want to cover ManW.
No, that's fine. I was just confused from my charting. Okay. So I got it. And the second thing with the China, where it is, like there is less, it's has slowed down and all that. So would you expect that because of that, the CPI numbers will come lower because lower commodity?
No. That's a totally different tangent. Don't take it there.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
No problem. Anyone else has anything to discuss? No? All right. Thank you for joining in then.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you happen to like train people if someone wants to learn how to like chart? Because I know you were going through everything, but like I think I was a little lost in like a lot of the conversations, and I would love to learn more. Do you like teach, train?
I do sometimes when I get time. I was planning to do a session with the public so that they can use it, but I was not finding time. But probably next couple of weeks, I'm planning. I'm not committing, but I'm a full-time employee, and trading is just my like side thing. So once I get time, I will definitely set up a session. In between, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can go to a learning playlist where I've shared everything in detail. You can start from there. You can join these live sessions and try to ask, like right now, if you have any question, you can ask and I'll try to answer. Because if we communicate live, it's much easier than asking some things on the chat. If you have any question, any confusion, you can share your screen, ask what's happening, what should I do about this, and most likely I'll be able to help you.
Okay, thank you. If you happen to throw those training sessions on there, I would really appreciate it.
No problems. Rajesh, tech chat. Yes, guys, I've done these sessions in the past, and I'll do it. All I need is some time, because these were summer vacations, and I wanted to take my kids on every weekend, and I didn't find any time. So once they're in school, I'll get some time. So, all right. If we don't have anything else, have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Bye bye. Take care.